We are what our thoughts have made us. So take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts leave, they travel far. Just try to relate now. Take care about what you think. This is one of the most important and fiery quotation what you all have selected. Why it is? Which one comes first? Our thinking process or our activity? Just try to observe, just try to relate which one comes first. Whatever we are doing, whatever and however we are doing, it's entirely dependent on whatever we are thinking. So that is the source. Our thought process is basically the source of everything. Before acting, we always used to interact with us. That is extremely important. We always used to interact with ourselves first. And that is all about thinking. And that is all about observation. Now, the entire activity of us is dependent on whatever we are thinking. Now, what is habit? That is extremely important. What is habit? Habit is nothing but the repetition of our action. So just try to think, just try to relate that whatever we think that this is our habit, it's coming from our thought process. It's basically coming from our thought process. The source is basically our own thought process, our habit, which is basically the repetition of our own activity. Now, the most important aspect of any human being, the most important aspect, what you all should know. Being youth, being younger generation, you all should know it's character. Character is much more important because most of our teachers, most of our philosophers, most of our achievers used to give high marks for characterization, for characters. Now, how this character is coming? What is it? Habit is repetition of action. And what is character then? Character is repetition of the habit for a prolonged period. That is basically our character in others' eyes. That is basically our character in others' eyes. That is repetition of the habit for a prolonged period. Now, if that habit or that action is dependent on our thought process, then the repetition of that habit for a prolonged period must be dependent on our thought process. Must be, 100% it is. Just try to observe, just try to think. This is the main magic of our thought process. Whatever we are thinking, it is entirely transferred into whatever we are doing. And however we are doing, it is entirely transferred into that. And for what period we are repeating it. So this is where our thought process is important. And actually, thought process is given highest importance in many of our sporting activities, in many of our activities. Number of our sports people, number of our sports personalities given this thing the highest priority. Just try to observe. That is the most important thing. Now we would like to give some examples of some of the brilliant sports people, what they have thought about, what they have said about. Number one, Sir Don Bradman. In number of interviews, he said one very important thing. Once he was asked that what's the secret of your such a brilliant average? You have got an unparalleled performance, unparalleled champion. What's the secret? And he categorically said one thing. He actually categorically said one thing, and he precisely gave importance to that thought process. What is it? He said, I have never committed, just mark my words, I have never committed the same mistake twice. He categorically said that I have never committed. Sir Don Bradman categorically said that I have never committed the same mistake twice. What it is proving? That he committed number of mistakes, as every human being will be. We will commit mistake. If we are not committing mistake, then it means that we are actually playing a safe game. And if we are playing a safe game, we are not not breaking our comfort zone. And if we are not breaking our comfort zone, then how can we perform? We need to break our comfort zone. And this is where there can be mistake. And he admitted, Sir Don Bradman admitted that there is mistake. There will be mistake. But he said that I have never committed the same mistake twice. And how? Next, he was asked, how, sir? And he said brilliantly. He only said one thing. He said that after each match, I used to observe my entire innings, sitting quietly, collecting my thoughts, and I used to observe my whole innings after the match, just to pick up what mistake I have committed. And after that, to be conscious. Consciously I am observing, and consciously I am saying myself, okay, I have committed this mistake, but I must not repeat it. There I got to be conscious. There I got to be consciously observing first step, observing my mistake. Second step, to be consciously saying me, to be conscious about my mistake and saying me, talking with myself and saying me that, okay, it must not be repeated. It must not be repeated. That is Sir Don Bradman for all of you all. Now next, about our champion cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar. About our champion cricketer. He was asked that how come not a single sledging affected you? He was asked, and Sachin Tendulkar said categorically another very important aspect. He said, before the match, just the day before a very important match, I used to imagine, I used to observe that I am actually playing. Suppose tomorrow Sachin Tendulkar will be playing with Australia. Today he is imagining as well as he is observing his own thought process. That is, he is playing against Magra. Shen Won is bowling, Magra is bowling, and he is playing. Somebody, maybe Michael Slater is sledging him, or maybe some other people is sledging him, and how he is actually handling that sledging. He is imagining and he is observing his own thought process, and thereby actually he is preparing. And that is the main chemistry, that is the main magic behind his extreme calmness and success. And he said it, it's not our version, it's his version. Another aspect, he was asked number of times, and Mr. Sachin Tendulkar, our great champion sportsman, said that cricket must be in your heart and cricket must be in your life. Now, Swami Vivekananda, he categorically said one thing, that if you want to perform in a above average way, if you want to utilize yourself 100%, then what you got to do? First, vision. To fix up a vision, to fix up an objective, and then to be with that objective, to be with that vision 24 hours. To live with that, to be in that atmosphere each and every time, each and every breath, you got to be in that atmosphere. Now what is it? Sachin Tendulkar said, what? Sachin Tendulkar said that cricket must be in your life. Cricket must be your life. And what Swami Vivekananda said, that whatever objective you are fixing up, it can be cricket, it can be law, it can be finance, it can be film, it can be music, it can be anything. But it got to be part of you 24 hours. Once I have fixed up my vision and objective, I must be in a position to be with that 24 hours with passion. And naturally, this is one of the main factor, this is one of the main chemistry. Now, how it is coming? How it is coming? Just try to think how it is coming. It is coming through only one thing. What? That is observing our own thought. Because it's within me, it's within you all, it's within every human being. We are born with this extreme power of observing our own thought, and that is the most important power with which we are here. Our presence states such that we are having this unparalleled power of observing our own thought, or observing our own mind. And this is what? This is the main chemistry. What is that? We got to observe, and we got to be in that state of mind where we can actually imagine performing. We can actually imagine, okay, doing this. And for that, we need to collect our thought. If we can observe our thought properly, if we can recollect our thought, it will be transferred into action. Because that's a natural process. We don't have to do it. That's a natural process. After thought comes action. So this is it. High frequency energy is there. These are two faculties in our life. That is the most important two faculties. And Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest teachers, who categorically emphasized on our younger generation, on our youth, two faculty highly present in us. One, observing our own thought, observation of oneself. And another, and that observation of oneself, observation of thought, creates high activity, energy, extreme existence of energy. And second faculty, what is it? Calmness and stability. This is also very much important, to be calm and to be stable. These two faculties are actually present in us. Number one, activity. I can do, we can do, we will do. It's like that, activities. Another thing, stable, calm, to be in a present mind. Just be at present. Just be at present. This is another faculty, very important faculty. But this also comes from the same thing. It also comes from what? Observing our thought process. Because both the thought is there. Both the thought is there. High frequency, high energy, high activity, and at the same time, calmness, stability, so that we can observe it. So it's all about it. It's great that you all have pointed out and you all have selected this sort of messages. It's really great. And actually speaking, you all of you do have these two faculties present. We have, who can be our best teacher? Who can be our best friend? Without any doubt, it's within us. It's within us. It's within us. It's within you. It's within each and every human being. Our best teacher, our best friend is within us. He or she is actually waiting for us. Hello, what is happening, my dear friend? He or she is actually asking us, what is happening? We are waiting. Just observe us, bhai. Just observe us. Just see that we are waiting, and that is it. The best teacher, the best friend is within us, just asking for our observation. So just go through your mind. Just recollect your mind. Just observe. And just remember what two of our champion sports person said. Number one, not to repeat the mistake. And how it will come? By observing our activity. And number two, what Sachin Tendulkar said, imagination, observing of the imagination, and it must be part of our life. It must be part of our life. Our life is not portion of our life. It's not okay, for 10 minutes or for 1 hour I'll be thinking about it and next something else. No! Even if we are sleeping, we got to be in that state. And that is it, that cricket must be in you. That is it, what Sachin Tendulkar relates. Just what is it? This is it, what Sachin Tendulkar tried to just say, that cricket must be within you. It must be within our heart. It's not only passion, it is something more than passion. It's life, the entire life. The same thing. So what Swami Vivekananda tried to convey, they actually are doing it. And that's why their performance is something else. They just did it. They just did it. They just gone through the process. And that's why their performance is something else. Thank you very much. It's great. You all do have that ability and that power. Just believe it. Just believe it. You all are born with it.